Hello everyone, Denny Monk here, and thank you for checking out another episode of The Farmer Was Replaced. So today, as you can see, instead of us having the three single lines that goes just straight up north, we have a 3x3 square. Now how the heck do you possibly move through the square? What we can do is we can do a for function. So for I in range, a number. So this would be for I in range 5 times. So for example, we can say for I in range, do a flip. Okay. Now this is going to do a flip 5 times. And then after the 5th time, it'll stop. Okay. So watch 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boom. Done. Not going to do it no more. Now you can do that. You can say for I in range 3 north. Okay. And then once it comes back here, you can just do like one that says east by 1 and then north 5 times. But it's kind of messy. And I think it can get messy and confusing pretty quickly. So there's a better way of doing it. Okay. So for I in range, you can do, I think, get world size. And it even has a little example right down there at the bottom. You can say for I in range, get world size, and then it says move north. So instead of I, maybe we can call that X for X axis. And then we can do a second one for Y axis. And now we don't have to type anything in here because the range is getting the world size itself. That's data that it is picking up itself. So instead of me having to write 3, it's just automatically going to get it. So as we upscale, we don't have to worry about upscaling this. It's just, we can forget about it. What we need to do is get more hay and wood, right? So we can get debug unlocked, we can get operations unlocked, we can eventually start speeding up things and expanding and get carrots eventually. But first we have to learn how to move. So what we can do here, we can go underneath the Y axis. Okay, a Y axis is north, correct? So we can type move north. And then instead of staying in the Y axis again, we want to push back out to where we're inside the X axis, right? Because the X axis has the Y axis and move north in it, but then we want to move to the right. So move east. So just for giggles, okay, we'll write it out to where it is going to be a loop. Now, what's the problem that we see here currently? Maybe this is not inside of this, correct? Because if you hit the enter key, our cursor goes there. Now we're inside of the while true. So if I do it this way, it's either going to pull up an error or it's going to only do it once. Okay, it's just throwing up an error. So now we make sure we put all this stuff inside, so you can hit the tab key to go over and you're inside of all this stuff. And now whenever I hit this, oh wait, first with it, what we want to do is reset the character. We don't have to, but I find it to be the best option here. And eventually we're going to do a single main code for a short time period, and then we're going to switch over to where we're going to do files attached to a main code. For imports, we'll need import for that. So until we get import, we gotta kind of do what we can. But as a rough code here, so let's see what happens. Let's see if the guy possibly moves all over. Okay, so as we can see, it's working. He's going up and then he's going back down this way because he reached the end. He automatically flipped back over. Then he goes right and then he goes up and then he flips back over and goes right. And we can slow that down by hitting this guy right here. So as you can see, it went to the X axis and it's seen, okay, there's stuff inside of me. Let's see what's in this. Okay, for Y, we're getting the range of Y of the world. We're moving up 1. And it was going to move up 3 times because it read there's 3 in front of me. So it's just going to move up, boom, 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 3, and then swap over. Anyways, it works. What we have to do now is make sure we get hay and we get wood. I can't do it as one single code, so I still got to break it apart for the time being. So maybe what I can do is copy this, and then each one of these guys, make sure I set this up for them. So now the if can harvest is currently inside the while true function instead of the X or the Y function. We want this to be inside the Y function because we just want it all to break down. And then we want to move north for the Y, correct? And then move east for the X, which we want that to be inside the X axis, so it's going to be along with the Y axis here. And the move north is going to be inside the Y axis along with the if statement. So now what we want to do, we want this one, let's see, this down here is the harvest. So technically I don't need that one right now. So this one can be hay. We don't have get ground, so currently, so what we can do is plant entities dot grass, and then after it plants the grass, it's going to check to see if it can harvest the grass. If it can harvest the grass, it will. If not, it'll move forward, and then it'll go back up to the Y and continue this process all the way through. It's not playing the right guy. Let me go ahead and delete that guy here. Make sure we're getting this one. So it's funny because I can see it shoots up to here, then it starts to do it. And maybe it's because I have clear set up and this is still growing before it reaches this. We can see here. So yeah, that's why it's doing that. It's checking if it can harvest. It's not even grown yet. And it moves up. And then it says, okay, I can't harvest yet. Can I harvest now? No. Moves up. Can I harvest now? Yes. All right, so that's that. I was wondering why it was skipping like that. But now it's just going to continue processing, getting hay for us. I spelled hay correctly. Okay. Now we need to set it up for the wood. Okay. I think the bush, it can still go on, it can be grown on grassland or soil. So we don't have to worry about tilling up the ground just yet, which is perfect. So we'll just do the exact same thing that we did with grass here. We can go ahead and set this guy back up. So make sure that he is within the while true loop. This guy's in there, and then everything else goes in for the Y range, correct? So let's make sure you go here, plant the bush, and then type if can harvest. Go ahead and have this guy harvest, right? And then down here, make sure that we are under the X for the X in range. So along this 4Y statement, we will go ahead and type move east. And now this should start planting wood. And see what I did? I didn't add clear. And the reason why clear is important is whenever we get the a single big loop, it's just things can break, and also eventually there'll be things that need to be off-centered and it gets messed up. So I like to have, whoops, I like to make that a habit just for the beginning. There we go, that's better. And what I could do instead of it, you see whenever it harvests, dang, okay, hold on. We'll see whenever it harvests, it plants, it's planting hay. Okay, now that could be okay for now, but I don't like that. And the reason why is because of how we have our code laid out. We have plant bush and then harvest. If we say, let's go ahead and delete, I said delete plant bush is what I was stating. And then put plant bush under harvest. So I have it harvest first and then plant the bush. Why are you messing up again? Because of the clear here. So now as it goes to through, it shouldn't do the plant. See, now it's taking it, getting rid of the hay, having the bush growing instead of the hay growing. And now we just got to get set up a little bit. So let me go ahead and get some stacked up and then we'll go from there. So what we can do right now, we can go ahead and get debug. Not that we really need debug currently, but let's go ahead and just grab it. So debugging is nice for whenever your code gets bigger or if you're trying to figure something out. I used it not too long ago where I was trying to figure out the X and the Y axis, and because whenever you get pumpkins, you have to plant them differently. So to figure out what this was as the X and Y axis and what that was as the X and Y axis. And also something funny, you can click here and you can see these red stop sign type things. Now, if you hit that, see it automatically stops right here on this one. And then you can kind of continue from there. So you don't have to try and get to it. You know, if you want to stop at a certain point and just like, okay, I know there's a problem here. I don't know what the heck's going on. I don't want to keep tabbing all the way through this 5 billion times. Let's just get it to stop here. And that's useful. And then also you can hit print, which printing, if you're new to any sort of coding, print, and then you can, the first thing that they ever teach you when it comes to doing anything, especially in Python, is to say the word hello world. Okay, let's stop it. Shink, hello world. Subscribe. There you go, subscribe and hit that thumbs up button. Okay, so that's how that works. Let's get back to this. Now that I'm no longer trying to promote for people to subscribe to me, but you would like to subscribe or hit that thumbs up button, please. Also, leave a comment below. I don't ever get to hear from you guys, and I like to hear from people. Anyways, I'm a lonely person. It's so sad. Alright, so we got enough to get operations unlocked. Let's go ahead and get that. That's talking about, you can do arithmetic operations, comparisons, and so on and so on. This is actually a really useful thing. It's the math side of things. So whenever we get item checking to see how many items we actually have, we can compare it. So we can say get item, and then you can say if this item is less than 5, let's go ahead and start planting that item. So it can become more automated based. It can keep track of itself and stating, okay, I have less than 5 hay, or I don't have 50 hay. Let me go ahead and plant 50 hay, and then I can move over to the wood and say, okay, I don't have 50 wood. Let me go ahead and plant 50 wood. So it becomes a little easier for us. And then you can also do the not, and ors, which is kind of like the true and false statements. And then there's times and percentages that I don't fully understand just yet. There's this guy like right here. So this is saying not equal to. So if if the bush is not equal to bush, okay, so you're kind of judging it on itself, which makes it a false statement, right? I don't know. I'm asking you guys. I guess I'm trying to explain, but it comes in useful for whenever we go after carrots, because carrots, it requires to have tilled ground. And I don't think it's unlocked it. No, it didn't. So you can, whenever we unlock carrots, we'll have the opportunity to get the ground type. So is it tilled or is it not tilled? And then you can kind of compare that on itself, saying, is this ground tilled? If not, if this ground is not tilled, then let's go ahead and till it. And then you can plant your carrots, or you can plant your bushes or your hay. So it's a really useful thing. We'll definitely be touching more on it next episode. I hope you all enjoyed this episode. I hope it wasn't awful. I will get better at this, I promise. I hope. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you all enjoyed. Please leave a comment down below. Let me know how your day's going and how you been. And what's your goals for this new year also. And I'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now.